Alright, Shalom. I want to say all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahshua. Double honors to the elders and apostles, that great millstone who rule well, teach well in the spirit. Shalom to the hopefully elect brethren out there pushing his word throughout the four corners of the earth in truth and sincerity. Alright, risking our lives to wake up the elect, the hopefully elect, through what? The internet, through the unicorn, which is prophesied in the Bible that we would wake up, man, with the dry bones. We would wake up. You Negroes, Latinos, and Native American Indians, who your real nationality is. Which our real nationality is. All right, you're not Negro, mate. Especially Judah, you're not, or especially a so-called black man. You're Judah. You're not a so-called black man. All right, and you Native American Indians, y'all are Gadites. Okay. You aren't what the so-called white man calls you. You have a real nationality, man. All right. You have something that's really special, man. The Most High chose you out of all these different nations, man. All right. And this is I'm gonna just continue reading on this about the Willie Lynch letters. I wanted to get into it a little bit more because it was really intriguing to me. So how Esau is the devil, and how he works, and how he used the so-called black man in slavery and manipulated him. I'm gonna just read a little bit more on this Willie Lynch letter, and then I'm gonna get the scriptures. And it says, the black slave. It says, the black slave, after receiving this indoctrination, shall carry on and will become self-refueling and self-generating for hundreds of years, maybe thousands. Don't forget, you must pitch the old black versus the young black male, and the young black male against the old black male. You must use the dark-skinned slave versus the light-skinned slave. I don't know if I read this one, but I'm gonna read it again. It's this paragraph. It says, the light-skinned slaves and the light-skinned slaves of the versus the dark-skinned slave. You must use the female versus the male, and the male versus the female. You must also have your white servants and overseers distrust all blacks. I guess that's an error, but yeah, you see that in these modern day jobs, man. Who are the managers? Most likely a so-called white male, Edomite male. He's the manager, he's the supervisor, and then Jake be working. And Jake work McDonald's, Jake cash register, cooking the burgers, cleaning the bathrooms. And Esau, it may be a so-called white woman, but Esau the male, he's a supervisor. He runs the shit. You know what I'm saying? He's a shift manager and shit. It says, it's reading on, it says, but it is necessary that your slaves trust and depend on us. They must love, respect, and trust only us. Gentlemen, these kids are your keys to control. Use them. Have your wives and children use them. Never miss opportunity. It said, if used intensely for 1 year, the slaves themselves will remain perpetually distrustful. Thank you, gentlemen. I'm going to read that sentence again. It says, if used intensely for 1 year, the slaves themselves will remain perpetually distrustful. Thank you, gentlemen. I'm going to read this part too. I'm going to get the scripture. It's Malachi 1:3. It says, and I hated Esau and laid his mountains and his heritage waste for the dragons of the wilderness. Well, the Most High hated Esau. The Most High hated Esau. Uh, he loved Jacob, but he hated Esau. Jacob and Esau got beef ever since birth. You know, ever since birth they had beef. You know, it was spiritual. It was set up that way. Okay. Okay. It came from camp and work. It says, "Let's make a slave." Was an interest in business. Uh, was an interest in business of slaveholders to study human nature, and the slave nature in particular, with a view to practical results. I and many of them attained astonishing proficiency in this direction. They had to deal not with earth, wood, and stone, but with men, and by every regard they had for their own safety and prosperity. They needed to know the material on which they were to work, conscious of the injustice and wrong they were every hour perpetuating and knowing what they themselves would do. Were they the victims were they the victims of such wrongs? They were constantly looking for the first signs of the dreaded retribution. Slaki. They watched therefore with skilled and practiced eyes, and learned to read with great accuracy the state of mind and heart of the slave through his sable face, unusual sobriety, apparent abstractions, silliness, and indifference. Indeed, any mood out of the common was for afforded ground for suspicion and inquiry. Let me get this. Ezekiel 35:5. Then I'm gonna end it off on this. Lord will, I can go back into it too. It says Ezekiel 35:5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel. I have forced of the sword in the time, so I can read again. Ezekiel 35:5. Because thou hast had a perpetual hatred, and hast shed the blood of the children of Israel by the force of the sword in the time of their calamity, in the time that their iniquity had in. Right. Esau, man, he had a perpetual hatred for Jake. That's why he shoots us down in the streets and leaves us there like Michael Brown. And that's why we all up in the jail cell. He put us in the ghettos, the hoods, the slums, and gave us drugs, weapons, bad food, so on and so forth, man. You know, the so-called white man has a perpetual hatred for us. He has a continual hatred for us, man. You know, his hatred goes deep. Back to back to Jacob and Esau, man. Back to when they was born. It's tell you that uh basically Esau or Jacob's hand held Esau, the heel of Esau. Basically, like, get over here. You know what I'm saying? Like, get back over here, Esau. When they were babies in the womb, that mean they were fighting in the womb, man. You know, it was a war. And now it's a spirit. It's a spiritual war now. Okay. It's now it's mental warfare. We don't got shackles on us no more. You know, we ain't under captivity like that no more. But now it's mental. You know, a mental slavery. You know, uh, loving your enemy. Now the so-called black man loves his enemies, man. He forgot what happened to him. You know, he forgot what happened to him. He forgot how the so-called white man treated him. And still treating them to this day. But our people, man, you know, they don't know how to look at this devil for who he is, man. He's the devil. He's a deceiver, man. He hates everything good. Jake is naturally good, you know what I'm saying? Jake naturally a good person, you know, but Esau is naturally a bad person, and it's conflict. You know, you might meet somebody, you know, you never met before, but y'all just don't click, you know what I'm saying? Right off the bat, y'all don't get along. It's because, hey, it's in the spirit. And maybe in reincarnation, you got into it with that person in your past life, that same spirit or whatever. You know what I'm saying? But that's Jacob and Esau. So-called black people, so-called black men don't get along with so-called white men. Vice versa. They hate each other, man. Whether it's a coon or not, house nigga or not, they hate each other. Let a fight pop off. All you gonna hear is cracker and nigger, and you know what I'm saying? But this place is so pussyfied, and you know what I'm saying? People don't show how they really feel. You know, but Lord willing, I'm gonna go back into this. And I'm gonna keep it so I can go back into it, bring scriptures out. But with that one said, all praise to Yahweh, Shem Yahshua Barakatam. Double honor to the elders and apostles at Great Millstone who rule well, who teach well in the spirit, and shalom to the hopefully elect brethren out there. Shalom.